Hello, hi. Yeah, so it's been a while that I've spoken to you. It's been about a week via video, that is. Yeah, basically, I've got back on last Tuesday, back here to Perth. And here we are back in, well, actually, we're not back in my old office. I've actually had to move offices, studios, if you will. Yeah, while I was away, I don't know, there's some kind of thing going on with my house where basically someone's moved in and we need my studio, so I've moved to here, which isn't quite set up. All you can see is a shelf. You know, as you can see, we haven't got our table and computers in here yet. Well, I haven't, but so I'm kind of using my bedroom as my studio and here as well. But yeah, it's good to be home. It was quite strange actually. Like I actually prefer the cold, I think, to the heat. Like it's bloody hot, and yeah, I'm finding it a bit difficult to do work actually. Like it's really hot, and there's all these kind of little bits and pieces that you need to do when you get home from overseas that you've neglected for the 2.5 months that you're away, and that's all pretty much done now. Like rubbish like my car getting fixed and up and running again, and general house things, visiting mum and all that. Anyway, that's all done. I've kind of kept in contact with Paul Sermon from Manchester, mainly because he's the one that's given me this residency in his Silgrit Centre, which is in-world art centre in Second Life, which is very nice of him. That should be up and running, and I'll give you the link for that on this blog. Hopefully by next entry. I've just got to basically edit some templates for him so that I can present it. I've already got the square in there, and I'm kind of hanging about there quite often. So if you look up the Silgrit, that's Sylgrut Centre in Second Life, you may find me there. If not, you'll see the gallery with my empty space there. So that's all good to go. The augmented reality stuff is good. It's actually funny. I've just got back to this end of the world, and Raphael, who's my kind of go-to guy at HitLab, the guy that's assisting me, is French, living in New Zealand, and he's just gone back over there. So yeah, we've somehow managed to annoy each other's time separation situation. But yeah, myself and him are just discussing a paper that we're either going to write one each, as I spoke about in my blog, my paper, or we're going to combine forces. He's generally more technically based in his writing than I am. I'm generally more concerned with the concepts and the greater implications of the technologies being used. But I think that's probably why it'd work good as a single paper. Maybe we could kind of combine forces, and it's really nice to have a paper written about your work, I suppose. But I mean, it's basically it's the technical side of it is mainly his research. So I'm proud to have my name to it, basically. But so that's kind of what's going on at the moment. That the papers, my exhibition, that is kind of the culmination of this residency, which, well, this will end at the end of this month, and then it was supposed to be in May, but it's actually pushed back to June now. So it's I think it's June the 2nd, which is nice. It gives me an extra few weeks to develop it a bit more. So that's kind of put me in this place where now I'm actually wondering if I have enough time to do the next phase, or whether to perfect what I'm doing at the moment. Like I've got a couple of people like this guy Martin Satwell, and there's a couple of other people who are 3D modelers who I've almost collaborated with before. We had a few projects on the go that I actually had to stop to come overseas just before I left, but they're keen to restart these projects that we were going to do, and on top of that, they're going to help me with my basically with my modeling and my animation sequences for this. If I get to the level of understanding where I can implement a little animation, which I think would be great. And yeah, so the next step would actually be to have, yes, this avatar that gets removed from the screen to actually animate, walk around. What I was actually thinking was just say you've got it in the screen, there's the screen, it hops out of the screen, and then it kind of wanders. And what you do to do this is you set a plane up and you write that into the actual program. So just say my shoulder here, you write down the coordinates for this, assuming that it's never going to be moved, which in a gallery situation is quite achievable because obviously you can fasten the keyboard to the table with some double-sided tape or something, and the only thing that would be moving is the mouse, which isn't really going to be a factor because that's far enough on the right that you could kind of make up a plane to the left of the viewer, which would allow this this augmented little character to be able to walk around, which I think would accentuate the experience a lot and accentuate the ideas a lot more than just having this exchange. I mean, it's hard to say because I obviously have been, this has been what I've been doing for the last, every day for, the last like 6 months, really 7 months. So it's hard to say when to stop in terms of allowing the optimum accessibility to the viewer, I suppose. So yeah, like whether to actually make it so that so it's nice and simple and so that the viewer can actually access it really easily and draw what they will from that, or whether to make it really whiz bang. And I mean, I suppose this is always the problem with art. Do you impress your peers and friends, or do you impress the people that are higher up than you? And it's a tough one. It's a tough one because obviously you appeal to a lot wider an audience if you go for a little bit lower, not a technical side, but a little bit of a more blatant aesthetic, I suppose, than focusing on the actual technical magic, I suppose, of the system. But I will work that out, so that's not a worry. That's basically just a matter of making a decision either way, weighing up which ends up being better for the project at the point that the project gets to at time of exhibition. But yeah, so yeah, it's great. I've got a PC again. Well, I'm borrowing a PC because I've become a bit of a Mac man. For the last 6-7 years, I've kind of been on Mac. So I've got that. I've got my optical drive working on my laptop now, so I can probably start running it. Well, I'm picking it up this week, and that means that I can probably run the whole system on my because I've got a dual core, just running Windows on my own system. But anyway, it's up and running again, which is great because I can finally start implement, because the thing is you can test things, but you can only test things to a certain level if you don't have the whole application running, because you can't physically see it and you can't physically experience it. So obviously it's not a true indication of whether you're having a win or a loss, really. But that's all good because that's all sorted now. It's good to have an office. It's good to be home, except for the heat. And yeah. So I'll keep you posted, and yeah, I've got a meeting online with Krista and Laurent soon. Yeah, I have to discuss a few things. One of which is having to pay an import tax of €300 for something which kind of spins me out a little bit. But I need to speak to the ATO about that. But that's not anyone else's worry other than mine. So I'll leave you all to it, and yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, bye.